In other news, the KwaZulu-Natal Education Department says it's processed just over 3/4 of the outstanding payments to school nutrition service providers. The department owes 205 million rand, and it says 161 million has already been paid. Now, service providers who claim they haven't been paid since March are today staging a sit-in at the district office in Pietermaritzburg. You'll know that school nutrition program feeds over 2 million disadvantaged pupils across schools in KwaZulu-Natal. Let's check in with Newzroom Afrika's Mthembu. He's in Pietermaritzburg tracking that sitting for us, and he joins us now live. Phila, good afternoon to you once again. Of course, it was in the last hour that this statement from the KZN Education Department first landed in our inbox, and it says that 78% of payments had been made. That's as of the 24th of April, and the final payments are set to be made on the 8th of May, which is this Thursday. How is this news being received there at that sit-in?
We are about to find out, Michelle, as the sit-in, that demonstration has now been wrapped. I'm going to bring in one of the service providers, Phila, who is also the secretary with the National Service Providers, the feeding scheme program as well. So just to give us an update with regards to what they make of the statement. But before we get on to that, Michelle, I'm just going to get, an update with regards to how the meeting went before we get into the reaction of that particular statement. Thank you so much for your time. If firstly we could speak about, the conclusion that was reached during that engagement that we have been following closely.
We met up with Mrs. Mthembu with Mr. Shangase. Mr. Shangase is the AD for the program in Umgungundlovu. Mrs. Mthembu is the finance person that is in charge currently. Now, when we met with them, I think it was the first time that we got a situation where we were being heard, and not only heard, but wanted to find a solution. That is number one. That was what was important, because there's been lack of communication, as you all have been aware. And secondly, it was important for us to make them understand the frustrations that we have been going through as service providers, because remember, we are not only trying to feed our own families, but we are trying to feed underage minors. So it means that if we don't bring food a day, there's millions of learners that are not going to eat, that are really in desperate need for that particular meal. So it was important for this engagement today for them to hear and understand the plight that we are saying, that they cannot just shut us out in the financial communications altogether. They have to communicate with us, because we are the cold face of the program, firstly, but secondly, we are also the beacon of hope for this minor child. So after the engagement with Ms. Mthembu, she promised that if we do not if the run does not happen this evening, what will happen is Mr. Tsele, who's the head of the program, a representative from the HOD's office, she will also be present, and the district director will also be present in that meeting to try and address the situation and come up with plans and alternative measures that are going to be put in place. As we are all aware that this is a grant program, and if it's a grant, it means that there should be measures that are put in place to make sure that this money is utilized for what it has been designed for.
Right, and let us talk about the statement that has been put out by the KZN Education Department. You also went through the statement before we came on live on air, and what is your reaction to that? The statement says around 78% of the suppliers have been paid, and that 22% remain, and that the payment is going to be done also shortly. What is your reaction?
I'm actually sad that we now have to talk about percentages when we are speaking about minors. That's number one. But number two, for me, what I got from the statement is it didn't clarify whether it paid the 70% of the service providers, or the 78% of what was due to the service providers. They did not distinguish between those two. Secondly, it also is a confirmation that they are not doing their jobs. And why are there no punitive measures or consequences in relation to them not performing their duties? Because if it takes us to sit in a meeting or demonstrates of sorts for us to get the attention. Why was the job not done in the first place? Why should we be put in percentages or categories that these ones are paid and these ones are not paid, or this amount is paid, that other amount is not paid? Why is that? Why is that their job is not being done correctly the first time around?
And the department does say that it remains committed to communicating with the suppliers, the service providers, and you did obviously earlier on cite concerns around the communication that you have been having with the department, and it seems to be in a contradiction to what is actually said on that statement.
The sad thing is, for the department to hear us, it takes us to bring media, to fight for them to speak to us, which is really wrong. You know, when you are working together, it's supposed to be a give and take situation. If there's a concern, we sit down on a round table and we have a conversation, and then we address the problems. Unfortunately, the department is not wanting to do that. And at least today, through Mrs. Mthembu, we were able to raise our concerns. But let us hope that moving forward, we will be taken seriously, and we do not have to get to a point where we are fighting. Everybody needs to play their part in making sure that we address the issues that we are facing.
Yes, and you did also say one of the reasons why these challenges are being experienced is because you feel the program is not being prioritized.
Yes, we don't think the program is being prioritized, and also we feel that they are underestimating the importance of the program. The program is meant to make sure that learners do come to school. It's meant to make sure that the learners can actually be able to participate in class. So now, if this program is not taken seriously, which learner is going to want to stay in class if they are hungry? No one can actually concentrate without any food in their stomach. So the whole point of this program was to try and mitigate the situation that our communities are facing, since we all know that there's barely jobs that are available for everyone.
Yes, and I do not mean to bring negativity to the whole situation. The department did say that payments are being done, but then we've seen something like this happen before. And I am wondering, should you happen to be disappointed again, where to from here? What is it that you're going to do?
As I said earlier, the agreement that we had with Mr. Shangase and Mthembu was that if the run does not happen, she has committed that she will make sure that we have an engagement with the relevant parties, including relevant stakeholders. So it means that we will be present in that meeting, including the person that is responsible for the program, which is Mr. Cele, and a representative from the HOD's office and the CFO's office, because we need to find answers. We need to get answers. And also we need somebody to be held accountable for this terrible ordeal, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with minors here. Yes, this is a job to us, but also remember, we are the cold face of the program. It means that the learner, when they see me delivering the food, it means that at least today he can confirm, or she can confirm, that he's going to receive a meal.
Thank you so much for your time. That was Phila speaking to us. She is with the National School Nutrition Program Association, and she's also a service provider. Basically, reacting to that particular statement, which has now been issued by the KwaZulu-Natal Education Department, that payments are currently being made, and saying that they are going to be having further engagement should they not receive these payments, because it's something that has also happened in the past, but also stressing on the communication there between them as well as the department, calling for more improvement along those lines. She also did mention that, such programs are essential in the community, as well as, especially to the children that actually get to benefit, because some of them, you find that they are on chronic medication and they require at least a meal per day to get through the day. Michelle, it's back to you.